The Little Mermaid. It was a special day for Ariel, the daughter of the King of the Seas, her 16th birthday. To celebrate, her sisters arranged to perform a special ceremony where Ariel would appear from a giant shell. But when they opened the shell, Ariel had disappeared. Her father became very angry with Ariel. But Ariel was down at the ship's graveyard, swimming with her special friend, Flounder. As she swam around the sunken ships, Ariel found toys and objects that had once belonged to people up on the land. "I wonder what it would be like up there," she said to Flounder. "Imagine having legs and feet." Ariel swam up to an island to see her friend Scuttle, a seagull. Scuttle had found a fork in a boat and proudly explained to Ariel what it was. "You see, they call it a comb, and you comb your hair with it like this," explained Scuttle. "May I have it?" asked Ariel. Back down in her own home, deep below the sea, Ariel added the fork to her special collection of treasures she had found on the seabed. Suddenly she heard the noise of a boat passing by overhead and swam up to have a look. Peeking over the side of the boat, Ariel saw a lot of men on board, and they seemed to be celebrating. The men were singing a birthday song. It was an exciting day for Eric, the son of a king, as it was his birthday. His present was a magnificent statue that had been carved of the young prince himself. But while the men were celebrating, they didn't notice the dark clouds building up on the horizon. A huge storm hit the boat, and the waves washed into the hold, flooding the ship and sinking it to the bottom of the sea. Ariel rescued the young Prince Eric and brought him safely to shore, where she sang him a magical mermaid song. "I think he is alive. I can hear his heart beating," Scuttle said confidently, listening to Eric's boot. A loud bark startled Ariel and Scuttle away, as Eric's faithful dog, Max, came scampering along the beach to see his master. As Ariel dived beneath the waves, Eric opened his eyes and looked around. Lying on the bottom of the sea floor, Ariel discovered the statue of the Prince Eric, broken up in the storm. "The prince is so handsome," sighed Ariel. "I wish I had legs. Then perhaps I could meet the prince and we would fall in love." Two moray eels swimming by heard Ariel's wish. "Why don't you ask Ursula the sorceress?" one of them suggested. But Ursula is my father's greatest enemy," Ariel explained. Then in a huge whoosh of bubbles, Ursula appeared. "So you want legs, do you, Ariel?" said the sorceress. "You will have your legs, but you must give me your voice in return." "But I must have my voice. I need it," cried Ariel. "And you will get it back if you receive a real kiss of love within 3 days," replied Ursula. "Now speak into my magical snail and empty your voice." Flounder and Sebastian the crab warned Ariel not to do it, but Ariel had fallen in love with the prince. Her voice quietly faded away into the snail shell. Ariel found a strange tingling in her mermaid's tail, and suddenly her tail had become a pair of human legs. But without her tail, Ariel did not know how to swim. She kicked uselessly and nearly drowned, but her two faithful friends helped her to the surface. As Ariel made her way to the shore, Scuttle the seagull appeared with an old sail off a boat for her dress. Slowly getting up on her new feet, Ariel found it was very difficult to walk. As she staggered along the beach, Eric rushed towards her to help. Eric found the young girl very beautiful, but could not understand why she could not talk to him. He took her by the hand and led her to a small boat that had washed ashore in the storm. In the still of the evening, the prince looked deep into Ariel's beautiful eyes and fell in love. He leaned forward to embrace her, and just when he was about to kiss her, the moray eels swam up and overturned the little boat. When the prince swam ashore, Ariel had disappeared, but there, waiting for him on the beach, was a lovely young woman who introduced herself as Vanessa. Around her neck was an unusual shell. Hypnotized by her voice, Eric did not realize that the evil Ursula had transformed transformed herself into the beautiful girl before him. Eric took Vanessa by the hand and, still hypnotized, asked her to marry him. Together they travelled back to the palace where they began preparations for the wedding. And although the Chancellor was surprised to see Eric wanting to get married so quickly, he gave the couple his blessing. Soon after, a ship arrived to take the couple to their wedding. But as Vanessa prepared herself for the wedding, the enchanted mirror she gazed into revealed the truth. Instead of a beautiful young girl, she saw an evil sorceress. Just at that moment, Scuttle flew by and saw the wicked Ursula reflected in the mirror. The twisted nose and wicked smile, there was no mistaking it. Scuttle knew what he had to do. Quickly finding Ariel, he explained what had happened. Jumping onto a barrel, Ariel was towed towards the ship by her friend Flounder. Scuttle flew around the sky, squawking wildly. Hearing all the fuss, hundreds of other seagulls joined the quest, flying towards the ship from all directions. As they arrived, the Prince and Vanessa were in an embrace, just about to kiss. Seeing the birds and Ariel approaching, Vanessa turned back into Ursula, laughing gleefully. "It's too late," she shrieked. "The Prince and I are in love." The moment had arrived when 3 days had passed, and just as quickly as they had appeared, Ariel's new legs disappeared once more to become a mermaid's tail. Ursula grabbed Ariel and prepared to drag her down under the sea to her evil lair. Crying and thinking she would never see her prince again, Ariel looked up at the sound of her father's voice. "Return my child to me," he demanded. "Gee, I'm sorry," sneered Ursula. "The contract here says she now belongs to me." Angry at the king's demands, Ursula magically whipped the ocean up into a frenzied storm, sending waves crashing and water flying into currents and swirls everywhere. In all of the confusion, the king lost his trident. Then suddenly, out of the eye of the storm, the prince appeared, steering a ship. A huge gust of wind threw the bow of the ship straight into Ursula, piercing her stomach like a huge balloon. Ursula disappeared beneath the waves. As the storm passed, the prince and Ariel were once again washed up on the shore, but this time the king's magic trident had worked a spell of its own, for Ariel found herself with her legs once more, and her beautiful voice. The little mermaid had become a woman forever. Watched by their faithful friends, the happy couple boarded a ship and set off to prepare for their wedding. The gentle crab, Sebastian, Flounder and Scuttle would miss their favourite mermaid, Ariel, but were overjoyed that she had at last found the happiness she had wished for. The end.